Watching NBC3 News live at 5 o'clock. We have picked the perfect night to be here broadcasting live from downtown Syracuse, right in the heart of Armory Square as we continue our special Your Town series.
Oh, good evening, everyone, and so glad you're with us as we celebrate everything that downtown Syracuse has to offer. Behind us, you'll see the famous shot clock. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Also, we're going to tell you about some of the history of these buildings here in Armory Square and downtown Syracuse. Really just so much that we're going to learn about this wonderful community.
Really a hub of activity tonight, too. People sitting out enjoying dinner, a drink with friends. The Most Museum is busy today, and a couple of folks just came right off the Creek Walk. All kinds of things you can do if you're living or visiting downtown.
Well, you know, downtown Syracuse is really the hub of the Salt City. It is home to some 3,500 people. The residential occupancy rate is at 99%, and with increasing demand for downtown housing, it's also becoming a hub for many area businesses moving back downtown. More than 28,000 people work down here, and in the last year, 24 new retail businesses have set up shop, including 2 new restaurants, along with 4 new bakeries and dessert shops.
Now, here's a bit of history about downtown Syracuse. Many of you know this already, but the Erie Canal once ran through the heart of the city, through Clinton Square, that area, back in the 1800s. And today, the Erie Canal Museum, which sits right behind Syracuse City Hall, welcomes visitors to learn about its importance in making Syracuse an industrial city, really putting us on the map. Every Wednesdays during the summer, the museum is free for summer happy hour. You can enjoy live music, a trivia scavenger hunt, and a cash bar with beer, wine, and cider.
I particularly love the photos that show Erie Boulevard, well, the Erie Canal, as it was, and you can see the buildings that are still standing now. It just connects us to what was.
Syracuse is a city that built up along the banks of the canal, and yet it can be kind of forgotten. We don't have a canal any longer, so the Waylock building really is a tribute to a gone era.
Oh, the history really is impressive. The happy hour events run from 5 to 7 on Wednesdays. Museum is open 7 days a week.
You know, another museum that's certainly an attraction down here that you'll want to come visit when you head to downtown Syracuse, of course, is the Everson Museum of Art. They have a famous ceramic collection and just so much to offer. And the community plaza there actually has become a real hub of activity downtown. Summer events include the Outdoor City Market, which runs every second Sunday of the month through October 8th. Vendors from around the region bring ceramics, vintage clothing, furniture, home decor, handmade crafts, and antiques to the plaza. Museum admission is free on City Market Sundays with a free docent-led tour at 1 p.m.
Movie night last night, they were showing Dr. Strangelove outdoors. Another great way that Everson is bringing people together downtown is with Food Truck Fridays. Every Friday, right through August 12th, you could take your lunch break and enjoy a little art, too. Local food trucks set up in the Everson Plaza. That runs from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so enjoy Food Truck Fridays. And what we're enjoying right now is the weather in downtown Syracuse. Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar joins us here in Armory Square right now. And Wayne, we were just talking to some folks who live downtown. They just came off the Creek Walk for a nice walk and run. They said it's pretty warm in the sun, but we've got some great shade here.
And the breeze
right here.
feels so nice, too.
Yeah.
No, this is a nice little bit of a breeze blowing around. I mean, temperature in the low 80s, but the humidity has actually come down just a little bit from yesterday. So, I mean, this is fantastic out here right now. Armory Square, we're loving it. And I think we're still going to be able to get through most of the day tomorrow, still in pretty good shape as well. Here's a look at live triple Doppler radar, brought to you by Falso Service Experts. And but right now here, Central New York, and especially Armory Square, fantastic.
And Candlelight Concert Series is here tomorrow night, so they could use some good weather tomorrow night, too.
We're going to try for that, too, yeah.
Thank you so much.
We are going to continue our coverage live from downtown Syracuse and show you some really, really unique things that are going on in this community. So you might want to take a trip down here with your family this summer.
Yeah, and there's a lot of history, too. We want to send it back to the studio now with more news of the day. Victoria Carmen is standing by. Tori?
Thank you, Matt, Megan, and Wayne. It looks gorgeous out there. Coming up on NBC3 News at 5 o'clock, Alex.
Well, there's a lot of spooky stuff, rumors here at the Landmark Theater. I'm Alex Drusilla, and coming up after the break for our special Your Town series, we're going on a ghost hunt. You're going to want to watch it.
Your Town, downtown Syracuse, is sponsored by the following.
Welcome back to our Your Town broadcast live here in Armory Square. We are just enjoying chatting with people out here tonight. A beautiful evening.
Oh, this is
fantastic.
fantastic.
You know, Wayne couldn't make it to Seneca Falls, Megan, as you may recall, because there was a threat of rain last week.
Yep.
We don't have that threat of rain on the radar
No,
tonight.
not tonight.
No, Wayne, I mean, really, I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up. I mean, this is picture perfect weather for us.
No, this is great. And we've got, I mean, the temperature's in the low 80s, but we've got we'll call it a partly sunny sky. We've got a little bit of a breeze. It is fantastic.
It is.
And all across central New York, but especially right here, Armory Square. Look outside right now. Stanley Law Skywatch overlooking the city with the Stanley Law camera. Looking very, very pleasant. A great evening coming up across central New York. And right here, Armory Square. Matt, Megan?
Oh, it is just perfect out, and we're really enjoying just being out here with everybody tonight.
Just a great community here. You can sort of feel the warmth here in downtown Syracuse. A great place to be.
You know, just about a block away from here is the backside of the Landmark Theater, and just a couple of years ago they did some major renovations and really turned it into a venue that's become synonymous with Broadway musicals coming to town.
And come this fall, Disney will take over the stage. The Lion King will make a stop in Syracuse, bringing to life one of the most imaginative creations on Broadway. It's a proud winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The show will run October 26th to November 12th at the Landmark Theater downtown.
And did you know the Landmark Theater is also known for something other than putting on concerts and Broadway shows?
That's right. Is it haunted? There is
so.
talk of some paranormal activity at the Landmark. Now at 5, our Alex Ursula joins us live from the Landmark Theater, looking into some of these spooky connections. Alex?
The Landmark Theater is on the State Haunted History Trail, and folks here at the Landmark Theater don't mind that one bit because it helps out their business big time around Halloween for ghost tours. And I had to find out exactly what all the fuss is about. Are the rumors true? Is there a ghost inside? So earlier, I spent a few hours looking at some of the spooky spirits here with some ghost hunters.
Hi, my name is Melissa.
My name's Rob.
With a sea of red velvet behind,
We're here to ask you a few questions. Would you be able to come closer to the recorder?
it's less certain what might be ahead.
Or maybe just pull up a seat and sit with us and let's have a conversation.
We're deep in the vacant void of the balcony,
Can you tell me how old you are?
trying to talk to ghosts.
And see what's going on. You're a little curious
The CNY ghost hunters are here for a purpose.
that you threw yourself over the balcony.
To see if there's proof to the belief that a ghost or spirit named Clarissa exists in the Landmark Theater.
She comes here just to show herself from time to time to people who she either resonates with or if something's happening incorrect that she's not happy about.
The theater has long believed Clarissa was an aspiring actress who watched her lover get electrocuted on stage. She then either threw herself off the balcony or fainted and died after falling. It likely happened shortly after the theater opened in 1928, back when it was known as the Lowe's State Theater. The ghost hunters say if you smell lilacs, she may be near, and has also been known to appear when people are smoking in the Landmark, fearing a fire could spark in her theater.
There is a story that down in the catacombs there was a band member who had an experience with Clarissa showing up when he was smoking down there in a certain area. And she made her presence known and he put the cigarette out. What happened to him?
The hope now is that she or someone who knows her will shed light as to whether she killed herself due to grief or died while fainting. You'll need to listen closely as we progress. That constant sound is a radio, rapidly scanning frequencies that the ghost hunters say will detect EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena. It's one of the ways they reach out to those who have passed.
Who's that?
We heard several chilling examples.
What's your name?
The ghost hunters believe they heard
Did you say Evan?
and
Mike again.
on 3 separate occasions. Answers are brief. Yes or no questions typically work best. I helped with a question myself.
Say, were you a baritone?
Yes. Were you a baritone? No.
Or were you one of the stagehands? Yep.
Through more questioning, the ghost hunters say they're confident Clarissa didn't jump, but instead fainted.
I think that the gentleman answered yes to the question, was it an accident? And I think he said yes.
It's been a while since we've been here talking with y'all.
Their purpose is to collect what it calls evidence of the afterlife. Also, they tell me evil spirits are an extreme rarity. The clergy will intervene if needed. However, here at the Landmark, I'm told the ghosts are neutral and won't bother theater goers. That is, as long as you avoid lighting up a cigarette.
How long did you have to practice
risking a fire in Clarissa's theater?
Into a production.
Really just get the chills even thinking about that, in all honesty. The CNY ghost hunters do not do anything like that in private homes. Stick to public places like here, the Erie Canal Museum, and other areas like that. Fort Ontario also in the city of Oswego. They also do a lot of fundraisers through ghost tours by doing basically what they did, but they have folks come along. For now, we're reporting live here at the Landmark Theater. I'm Alex Drusilla.
I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, Megan, if the breeze that's blowing tonight came from the spirits at the Landmark who are just sending us a message like, yes, we do exist.
It could be.
Come visit us.
The next time you go to the Landmark Theater, you might get a little shivers.
Don't go alone.
There's a lot more live from downtown Syracuse coming up tonight. Still to come, we're going to talk to someone from the Downtown Committee, her favorite thing about downtown Syracuse, and why you just may want to bring your family down here this summer.
Your Town, Downtown Syracuse is sponsored by the following.
Welcome back to our Your Town broadcast here live in downtown Syracuse. Specifically, we're spending this evening in Armory Square and having a great time. Downtown is downtown, though. There's a lot of downtown.
There is a lot of downtown. Alice Majori is with the Downtown Committee. And Alice, what a gorgeous night out here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here.
So what's your favorite thing about downtown Syracuse?
I love that downtown Syracuse has become not only a neighborhood, but really a community. In the last 5 years especially, we've seen it change from a commercial center into a residential center and a commercial center.
And that's sort of what brings people downtown, right? You know, you have the shops and the businesses, then you have the people, and it's sort of a win-win situation.
Yes, the heartbeat of downtown has really extended past the traditional 9-to-5 workday. The employees who work downtown really find reasons to stick around after work. Maybe they'll go out to dinner. They bring their families back on the weekends to take in the festivals, the lovely museums like the Most right across the way. And also we're seeing a lot of four-legged friends walk around downtown too.
Well, that's true, which means that people are living downtown. They have dog-friendly environments.
Yes.
You know, I think it's easy for people who have lived in the Syracuse, Central New York area for a long time to go, oh, downtown used to be this, it used to be that. Some of it was very good, you know, going back 40 or 50 years. And then, as you mentioned, there was a period where it was really kind of like an office park. But now it's residential. Now it's Armory Square, it's Hanover Square. Warren Street has really come alive. Where do you think the newest growth is, and that's really making a difference now?
We're seeing retail places like the stores on Warren Street extend their hours to really serve even the hotel crowd. Like the renovation of the Marriott Syracuse downtown has really jump-started the southern gateway to downtown too. Yeah. So more people are being introduced to downtown, and they're finding ways and reasons to come back.
That's awesome. Thanks, Alice.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Good to have you here tonight.
Good to
I
have
appreciate
you.
that. You know, one of the other fixtures of downtown, there are many different church communities. One of them, the Cathedral for the Diocese of Syracuse, has been undergoing a great renovation this summer. We're going to take you inside in a moment.
It is incredible to see that. Also still to come, another location that's seeing a lot of renovation, the Central Library, where you will find wonderful books, but so much more. We're going to show you how they've been transforming that into a place you have to be, as our Your Town series continues.
Our Your Town broadcast continues now live from downtown Syracuse in Armory Square. In fact, we're broadcasting to you live right now in front of the Most here in Armory Square. A beautiful summer's night here as we get into mid to late July.
You know, the Most is open 7 days a week now. They've extended hours on Thursday, so you can come by after work or go with your family. We're going to talk more about that coming up. But first, there's so much to talk about as we continue our live broadcast here from downtown Syracuse. Let's tell you a little bit about the cathedral. There's massive renovations going on at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. It's located in Columbus Circle. That construction started 2 years years ago, and the church closed after Easter while the work continues inside. Crews are installing a new roof, heating and air conditioning, electric, and a new sound system. They're putting in new floors, painting, getting the doors and pews refurbished, and the new furniture is being donated by furniture maker Stickley.
The main altar has been restored, so the tabernacle is back there, and it's going to be very, very nice. It's going to be regal.
Now, church leaders hope to have the cathedral back open by September 2nd, with plans for a celebration on September 8th with a visit from Cardinal Dolan.
Well, another big feature that's been getting some changes in downtown Syracuse is the galleries in downtown Syracuse. And that's where the library is, too. They've been spending millions of dollars inside there.
They have many millions, in fact. If you haven't been to the Central Library in a couple of years, it's something you'll certainly want to check out the next time you head to downtown Syracuse.
It is the 3-level main library branch, recently transformed thanks to an $8.7 million transformation. The ground floor includes a new maker space where people can learn, create, and build.
The library is recognizing that learning happens through all these different media. And so the books are still here, but then we also have this makerspace where we can see we have 3D printers, and we have sewing machines, and we have these tables that are grouped into collaborative arrangements that people are learning from each other a lot in here.
They also feature a teen space and video and audio rooms where you can learn. It's open Monday through Saturday. Another must stop if you're spending time downtown, even if you work downtown in the middle of the day, the Farmers Market.
Oh, and boy, is it delicious. It's held every Tuesday here in downtown Syracuse in Clinton Square through October 10th. This market features about 50 farmers and produce dealers selling fresh seasonal vegetables, fruit, nuts, eggs, and cheese. And that's not all. You can find plenty of baked goods, flowers, plants, and even live music this year. The Downtown Farmers Market is, again, Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And every summer, Armory Square attracts a large crowd each weekend for the Candlelight Series, which is what we're in the midst of this month. Earlier this month, Symphonia brought the sweet sounds of orchestra music to downtown. This weekend and next weekend, 2 of the last of the Candlelight concerts of the season. They're held right near where we are right now, the intersection of West Jefferson and Franklin Streets. They start at 7 o'clock, and many of the restaurants down here in Armory Square bring their tables outside so you can actually enjoy your dinner while enjoying the music, which is for free, or just bring down your chair and enjoy that music anyway and pop in and out of any of the local establishments to enjoy a whole evening out of it.
Oh, and really, that is such a treat. So if you're planning to come to the Candlelight Series here tomorrow, Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar is tracking the skies for us now to see if we have any threat of rain.
Well, you know, it depends what time tomorrow. That's what we're looking at, because that's going to be critical on this next batch of showers and storms that's going to be coming on in from the west. I think tomorrow morning, anywhere in central New York, we're fine. But we're going to keep an eye on that batch of storms, because some of those could be strong and gusty, especially south of here tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night.
You know, that's something to keep an eye on tomorrow, and the Candlelight Series is tomorrow night, 7, 8 o'clock, so it could play into that a little bit.
And if the batch moves south, nothing to worry about.
Good,
okay,
that's good
but at
news.
least for now, we're enjoying a beautiful evening here in Armory Square. The temperatures are warm, but we have that beautiful, nice breeze.
Yeah, and coming up in just a minute, we've been getting teased by this for the last 20 minutes or so. They've been setting up for our food demonstration, food tours happening in downtown Syracuse, and we're going to do some sampling next, Megan.
We are hungry for that. We're going to show you some wonderful food that they have to offer here in downtown Syracuse coming up. First, let's head back to the studio. Victoria Carmen is at the news desk with a look at some of the news headlines of the day. Hi, Tori.
Hi, guys. Please bring something back, okay? Please do.
Oh, we will. We will.
Good. Thank you so much, Brett. Still to come on NBC3 News at 5:30. Hey, Matt and Megan.
Well, Victoria, let's raise a pint straight from Ireland as we continue our Your Town series.
And let's fill a plate with a slider from Dinosaur Barbecue, which goes, I'm just using the plate for show. We're going to take a taste tour of downtown Syracuse, excuse me, when we come back.
Your Town, Armory Square continues right after this.
I can't say anything else. Very good.
Oh, looks.
Your Town, downtown Syracuse is sponsored by the following.
Welcome back to our Your Town broadcast here in Armory Square. We have got a great treat ahead of us here, don't we?
We do. I'm sampling a little cold brew from Freedom of Espresso just across the street from us. And Kate Gillen joins us now from Sampling Syracuse Food Tours. What a cool concept, Kate. What made you bring this to Syracuse?
Thank you, Megan. I was on a food tour outside of Philadelphia, and I thought, how much fun is this? You get to walk around, sample some food, learn about the history and culture, and I just wanted to bring it to Syracuse.
And you don't just talk about food when you walk around town. You also talk about the community, the city, and downtown.
Exactly.
Too, right?
I touch on the revitalization that's been going on and continues today, and then some of Syracuse's amazing history as well.
Well, let's get to some of the fun here. Starting over here, you stop at Kitty Hoyne's first.
That's the first stop on the tour.
Do a little play-by-play. What do we have?
All right, so they always start out with a little bit of Smittix, which is an Irish red ale, and then we have some of their Irish soda bread along with their Irish bacon and cabbage.
Delicious.
I know, it's so good. From there, we go to Freedom of Espresso, where the drink changes,
you gotta
depending
put your
on
drink
the weather.
back. Yep.
I know I'm enjoying it too much.
Today they made us a cold brew iced coffee as well as passion iced tea. Then we make our way to Dinosaur Barbecue, where we get some of their pulled pork sliders and their mac and cheese.
Which is what I already started with.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Yep.
And then we make our way to Possibilities for some spicy hot tomato oil and their famous stretch bread.
Which is very famous.
Oh, it's
people
so
live
good.
for this stuff.
Yeah, that's a meal unto itself.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you do get dessert somehow.
Yeah, somehow, we deem dessert as necessary, and we stop at Modern Malt for your choice of a cupcake.
And people get to pick their cupcakes.
Exactly,
So what
yes.
kinds do we have here? I
So
mean, because they
today,
all look delicious.
We have vanilla with vanilla buttercream and a cookies and cream macaroon on top.
Wow.
And also chocolate peanut butter and red velvet with cream cheese frosting.
Delicious.
Wow, it just
So how
looks
does it
great.
work, Kate, if folks want to participate?
Do you
when
really
do
want
they
to keep
happen?
talking?
I know. We do. You
Can we-
start eating. Kate and I will
Because
chat.
If you don't mind, no, go ahead, answer
All right.
whatever questions she brings you.
We'll eat
Okay,
while you
but
talk, Kate.
I can't
good.
let this sit here.
I don't blame you.
Without trying it.
So you go onto the website, SyracuseFoodTours.com, and purchase tickets through there. And our tours are run every Saturday from April through November. They last 3 hours from noon to 3. And it's just a fun way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
We got horseradish sauce on there.
Oh, it's so good.
Fantastic.
The horseradish,
Should I get in there?
Yeah,
Yes.
from Kitty Hoyne's.
Okay.
I want them to bottle it up. It's so good.
I already tasted the slider. The Possibilities Spicy Hot.
Perfect.
Has been a staple. Almost
Maybe
almost as old as the revitalized Armory Square. In
Yes.
fact, maybe a little bit older, the sauce itself.
But have you sort of seen that people are starting to feel like Syracuse is kind of a little mini Philadelphia or something like that?
Absolutely. I love showing locals all the, new things that have been going on downtown. There's always something happening when we're walking through on Saturday afternoons. And out-of-towners are consistently impressed with all the things that downtown Syracuse has to offer.
Best way to reach you is through the website?
Yes, exactly.
And what is it one more time?
SyracuseFoodTours.com.
Yeah,
Okay, I
beautiful.
think we
Check
should
it out.
say cheers to you, Kate.
I'm gonna cheers.
And Downtown
Thank you.
Syracuse Food Tours,
Cheers.
because this is really fun.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Enjoy.
pulling this together.
Delicious.
Really good stuff.
Well done, Kitty Hoynes.
Yeah. We have more coming when we come back, but what we're going to do now is just keep eating. And eventually we'll talk to Wayne about the weather.
Your Town, Downtown Syracuse is sponsored by the following.
Well, welcome back to our live coverage from downtown Syracuse tonight. And cheers to downtown. Cheers to you, Wayne.
Yeah,
for
cheers.
A
cheers.
wonderful
If you're
forecast
if
here.
you're sitting at home watching us and you have something in your hand, cheers to you too. Come on downtown this weekend. The Candlelight Series is tomorrow night. I know you're trying to work on that forecast.
We're
a
working
little
on
bit,
the forecast,
But tonight is unquestionably beautiful.
This is fantastic.
Fantastic. Good job.
A little bit of a breeze, but nice and dry, partly sunny. A great night to be down here, Armory Square, and really anywhere in central New York. That's going to be Tuesday. 73 for a high, and then sunshine on Wednesday and a high temperature 80 degrees. Here's a look outside, Stanley Law Sky Watch overlooking the city with a Stanley Law camera, and we've got a fine-looking evening coming up here in central New York.
Oh, we sure do. You know, the banners right here in Armory say, Syracuse, do your thing.
That's right.
It's a great night to do that.
And you know what? It's time to do a little chocolate from our friends at Sweet on Chocolate, who brought us a beautiful little package of treats here. So we're going to sample that coming up.
Very nice. We have much more coverage as our Your Town broadcast continues from downtown Syracuse in a moment.
Thank you. My mouth is watering from all that food you guys have. Thank you so much. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, Matt and Megan, out to you.
Our Your Town broadcast continues live here in Armory Square. We are enjoying a beautiful evening.
We are chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treats from one of our favorite chocolate shops right here on Walton. We're going to continue our food sampling through downtown Syracuse and talk about the history of this really incredible community when we come back.
Welcome back to our Your Town broadcast here in Armory Square. We're enjoying just about a perfect July evening here in the middle of Armory Square, right near the shot clock, near Starbucks and Freedom of Espresso and all the great locations down here.
Yeah, right behind us, this is Walton Street here where there's a lot of activity going on. In fact, Matt, right behind us, I used to live in this building before I was married. It's such a wonderful place. You know, this was an old boot manufacturing company.
There's a lot of history.
That now is apartments and businesses, and we're going to learn a little bit about the history of Armory Square in downtown Syracuse throughout the next half hour or so. So let's tell you a little bit about this area. Downtown Syracuse really is the heart of the Salt City. It's home to some 3,500 people. The residential occupancy rate now is at 99%, with increasing demand for downtown housing. It's also become a hub for many area businesses moving back downtown. In fact, more than 28,000 people work down here. In the last year, 24 new retail businesses have set up shop in downtown Syracuse, including 2 new restaurants, along with 4 new bakeries and dessert shops.
And right in the middle of the Armory Square is the former Armory, which is now the Museum of Science and Technology, or MOST, a familiar place for families to visit, school groups. It's 35,000 square feet of exhibits in all. You walk through a beating heart, you see how your brain works, or what causes you to sneeze. Really fascinating stuff. Children can also learn about flight and space, build with foam blocks, and tire themselves out inside that science playhouse. But it's not just for kids.
We have a lot of adults that come. They make it part of an experience in Armory Square. They may go out to eat, take in an IMAX. The IMAX is certainly for all ages. The planetarium shows, especially if you haven't been to one in a long time, are certainly for people of all ages too.
They are open 7 days a week, and the summer hours are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and until 8 o'clock on Thursday nights, when you can get half-price admission. So that's a nice night to visit.
And 1 week from today, Arts and Crafts will take over downtown Syracuse. The annual AmeriCue Arts and Crafts Festival will fill Columbus Circle starting next Friday. It features 165 artists from 25 states, Canada, and Israel this year. More than 50,000 people are expected to pack into downtown for the 47th annual event. It runs next Friday through Sunday. And a must-stop on your visit to downtown Syracuse, the Everson Museum of Art. It's been a staple of the downtown landscape for years. The building was designed by internationally acclaimed architect I.M. Pei. The museum features more than 10,000 artworks, including a world-renowned ceramics collection. The current exhibit, Seen and Heard, explores the history of social and political activism in the arts.
And again, we mentioned this earlier, but just last night on the wall that I.M. Pei designed, they're showing movies. Dr. Strangelove.
Yes,
so,
and they are sort of constantly evolving and bringing new excitement to downtown Syracuse.
There is a lot going on. The weather obviously always playing a role this time of year. You know, who could say that they have better weather in America than a night like this in Syracuse?
Fantastic right now, fantastic. Yeah. We're going to try to maintain this type of weather at least on and through as much of the weekend as we can, but there will be changes. We'll come on out, have fun. Come on down, right down here, Armory Square. People are out there eating. What a great looking night.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Wayne, you hit it out of the park for all of our Your Towns so far.
So far, yeah.
You know, we've touched on this a little bit during the broadcast, but when you're downtown, sometimes it's a good idea to look up a little bit at some of the buildings, some of the old paintings on the side to give you a sense of the history.
And you may not realize that the building that you're living in or maybe having dinner in or going to work in used to be something really special and unique, say 100 years ago. We're going to explore the history of that with our Alex Drusilla Live coming up in just a few minutes.
But first, back to the studio and Victoria Carmen with more news of the day. Tori.
Thank you, guys. I'm learning so much tonight, I gotta say. Coming up next on NBC3 News at 6 o'clock, Alex Drusilla.
Well, Victoria, we eat in them, we live in them, we work in them. Historic buildings here throughout Armory Square. I'm Alex Drusilla, and coming up next, we're part of our Your Town series here downtown. We're taking you building by building on a historical tour.
Your Town, downtown Syracuse, is sponsored by the following. Your Town, downtown Syracuse, is sponsored by the following.
And we're back here live in downtown Syracuse. Franklin and Walton here in the heart of Armory Square. It's been a great evening so far, hasn't it?
It's been beautiful. We have a nice breeze, but it's nice and warm. A lot of folks are coming out for dinner. You can see right behind us, Possibilities is packed as it always is.
It is. You know, another great part of town, though, is Columbus Circle, the Mission restaurant there. And did you know that, of course, they have delicious food, but they also were once part of the Underground Railroad?
Yeah, they have rich history there. It was formerly the site of the oldest church in Syracuse, built back in 1845. And part of the basement used to house slaves who came through the area on their way to safety and freedom.
Historical building, and directly underneath where we're standing is a good chunk of the basement has been excavated. There's a tunnel, in essence, where the slaves would hide out.
Now, when the Mission's basement was excavated, they found faces carved into the walls. They were eventually moved over to the Onondaga Historical Association, where they remain on display today. A unique piece of Syracuse history right here in downtown Syracuse.
A lot of the rest of the history for downtown is based around transportation, the Erie Canal, the railroads. That's how much of this city was set up in its early years.
And if you've ever thought when you're living down here or dining down here or maybe even working down here, what the history is of those buildings, well, there is a lot to talk about. Our Alex Drusilla looks into the history of some of these incredible buildings in downtown Syracuse. Alex?
Many of us walk here throughout the streets of Armory Square, routinely going in and out of buildings steeped in history, many on the National Register of Historic Places, I might add. And here on West Fayette Street is the relatively new Marriott Hotel, and its location is interesting here. If you were to go back about 100 years or so and then some, you'd find yourself in the middle of one of the train stations here in Armory Square. This is just one of the numerous historical facts that make this place interesting. Look up, look down for something blue and something brown. There are clues all over Armory Square giving hints into the past of many of these old buildings, dating back as far as the 1870s.
And I think it speaks to just how, what a thriving place Syracuse was in this period.
Bob Searing is the associate curator with the Onondaga Historical Association. He says one place you can look to get a hint about many buildings is their side. Many still have paintings or slogans on them. Some, like the building where Empire Brewing Company is, have a way of hiding massive words in plain sight. The Bentley Settle building used to be a large grocery distribution hub, an anchor of the warehouse district here. Still inside is an old scale used to weigh everything from flour to salt.
That was, again, very indicative of this sort of business commercial center that Armory Square was.
The massive former armory gives this area its name. Originally built in advance of the Civil War in 1859, it burned down and was rebuilt in the 1870s. One interesting clue about this building's less known past are these hooks. They were used to bring hay in and out of the armory for a cavalry unit. It's fitting a horse stands out in front today.
If you could go back in time and grab somebody from the 1920s and tell them that they're going to have a movie theater or museum in this building, they would look at you like, on a variety of levels, like you were crazy.
Railroads fueled this city for much of its past. In fact, locomotives used to run right on street level and right in front of City Hall up until the early 20th century. This yellow building is the last of 3 train stations that used to call Armory Square home over the decades. Trains still pass by, offering a glimpse of what used to be in the 1940s and 50s, and is now at the Regional Transportation Center.
It's the only vestige of what built Armory Square, the railroads, so it's cool that it's still there.
The building hosting Possibilities now just looks like it belongs in a history book, with interesting symbols right on top. The Labor Temple building got its name after it buckled during construction in the 1890s. Searing tells me this time was like the Wild West, without codes or regulations for workers. Labor unions moved in after.
Things we take for granted, like the weekend, 40-hour work week, vacation, living wages, were all the product of the struggles of organized labor, which called that building home for decades.
Kitty Hoynes used to be one of about 50 hotels here in the Armory Square region back in the days of the railroad, the Crown Hotel, and the Historical Association tells me that number is mind-boggling when you think of today, the number of hotels in the region. But obviously, with train stations throughout this area, it's no wonder that number was so high. For now, we're live here in Armory Square. Alex Rusilla.
You know, so many cities across America don't have the kind of history that we have in Syracuse or other northeastern cities with the old buildings that are still here. So it's great that we can utilize them, transform them, and make them modern for today's world.
And look up close, you'll see some of the old brick is still there in some of them.
I love it.
We have a lot more coming up from your town, downtown Syracuse tonight, including Wayne's forecast.
And sports with Nico, and a little talk about the shot clock that made Syracuse famous when we come back.
Your Town, downtown Syracuse is sponsored by the following.
You know, we've been talking about the weather throughout the broadcast. There's been such a pleasant breeze. You can look down the street, people eating outside at Possibilities, Kitty Wines, Blue Tusk, and on and on and on.
Oh, it's a wonderful evening out here. You know, the Most is right behind us here. It used to be the old armory, so a lot of history here, and now it's my children's favorite place to come.
Of course.
Science. There you go.
That's right.
That's right. So the science of the weather tonight is not too challenging, but tomorrow you got some stuff you got to keep a close eye on.
It's during the afternoon. A high tomorrow, 81. Real quick 7-day, you can see scattered shower storms Sunday, scattered shower storms Monday. Look outside right now, Stanley Law Sky Watch overlooking the city with the Stanley Law camera. Very pleasant right now.
All right, he hit it out of the park again.
Yes, he did. Yes, thank you, Wayne. Our Your Town broadcast continues in a moment. Nico Tamurian will join us to talk about the shot clock and also the future for Buddy Boeheim when we come back.
And now, NBC3 Sports, brought to you by Karuba Collision.
Buddy Boeheim bringing in national attention. Good evening, I'm Nico Tamurian, live in Armory Square, continuing our Your Town broadcast tonight. Buddy's star getting brighter by the day. In fact, it was earlier this week he picked up an offer from Gonzaga, so the national attention continues to build. We're talking about Buddy today because I spoke with him earlier on. He is not committed to Syracuse basketball, at least not yet. But there was a report from Jeff Goodman at ESPN that said Buddy was talking about playing with his dad at Syracuse, potentially giving his dad one more national championship. Now he does, according to that article, have the offer to play at Syracuse University, and Boeheim would love to help his dad get that one last title, but he tells me he has not made that official decision just yet. He's at a tournament over the weekend. We'll catch up with Buddy later on next week. Now, speaking of the Boeheim name, the Boeheim's Army basketball team just 3 wins away from a cool $2 million. The former Orange Stars beating Team Fancy in a close game, 65-61. A late Brandon Jersh three-pointer the difference in this game. So the team is now in the national quarterfinals Sunday against a dangerous team. Squad FOE featuring several former Kansas Jayhawks. Boeheim's Army coach Ryan Blackwell telling me tonight he is proud of his team pulling out the close victory.
Resilient, tough-minded, and you guys don't want to lose. A lot of money on the line, a lot of pride. So these guys, find a way to win. Made the plays down the stretch where we needed to. It's fun. It's exciting. The fans that come out and support and look up and see all the Orange faithful. A lot of faces that we recognize. These guys have the same goal in mind, and they have this familiarity of guys that played at the same university for the same coach, same system, obviously defensively, especially. To get them out there playing again together. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting to watch.
When you think about basketball in our town, obviously your first thought is of the Orange, but the roots of basketball in the Salt City go well before Jim Boeheim made Syracuse University a national power. In fact, it all started with the Syracuse Nationals, and they won the title in 1955. And of course, our stamp is the shot clock, and here it is behind us. It was first introduced in the NBA here in Syracuse with the Nationals in 1954. So cool that no matter what you talk about with basketball, NBA champions, whatever the case is, really what saved the game, made it exciting, stopped stalling, was the shot clock, and it started right here in Syracuse.
We need to get LeBron James to come visit the shot clock.
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
So, hey, thanks for joining us for our Your Town broadcast live here in Armory Square tonight. We'll see you tonight for NBC3 News at 11.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.